How is it that you have a Dutch last name?
My father was born here, and my grandfather was from here. My opa is from here.
Your opa?
Yeah.
Do you know more Dutch words or not?
I just know the words that he used to call me when I was a little kid, but can I say them on the radio?
Yeah, of course, you can say anything here.
Klootzak.
Yes,
and,
thank you. Yes.
And klotenbijter.
Klotenbijter?
But that's about it.
That's about it, yes?
Yeah.
Who learned you these words? Is it your dad?
No, this is what my opa used to call me when I was a kid.
A klotenbijter?
Yeah. And I used to call him an oude lul.
Oude lul.
Yeah, oude lul.
Very well, very well. Well, tell me, because you have a song you're going to play, So It Goes, about your Dutch grandfather and the Second World War, right? It's a great story, and I think it's important to tell everyone before they're going to listen to it.
Okay, well, it's a story about my grandfather. He fought for the Dutch resistance, and he was living in The Hague when this country was occupied, and he eventually got caught because he did a lot of stuff for the resistance that was pretty scary. A lot of smuggling weapons, and he smuggled radios, and he would forge documents so that people could travel, so the Dutch people could travel around the country, and eventually he got caught, and he was supposed to be executed, and he was put in prison. He was put in the Oranje Hotel for 2 years, and
how was he caught? What happened?
He got caught because someone tipped off that he had a radio in his house, an illegal radio, to get British news reports, and they just went to his house and they found it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And that was enough, of course, to get arrested.
Oh,
then.
yeah. And they also, but then they kept digging more, and they found that he had, all these forged documents, and he was in big trouble, and they were supposed to kill him, but they didn't kill him, and it was actually because there was this one German guy who was one of the intelligence leaders, and he decided he should keep my grandfather alive, maybe for information or what it was for, and he kept him alive throughout the war. And the pretty interesting thing was after the war that this German guy, he was put on trial like all the Nazis were, and he was on trial for his life. And my grandpa swears he wasn't a mean guy. He was in a terrible place, and he was doing horrible things, but he was doing all things within the rules of war. He was being a soldier. He wasn't being a killer. Mm-hmm. And so my grandfather went to his trial, and he said that this guy spared his life and that he treated people within the rules. And my grandfather's testimony and a bunch of other people ended up saving the life of this guy back. So it was pretty interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you met his grandson for the video clip of this song, right?
I did, yes.
How was that?
It was really cool. Like it's interesting how similar he is to us. I went to Munich and we hung out, and he loves music and loves bands, and just the fact, if it wasn't for this strange act of kindness during the war, the most horrible period of recent history, that he wouldn't be alive and I wouldn't be alive. And now we hang out and we go to Munich and we drink beer and have a great time together, and it's just neat to have a friend that we're put together in such unusual circumstances. So
wow. Yeah. Did you guys know that you were going to Holland on our Day of Freedom, Bevrijdingsdag?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to that. And we know that Canada had a big part of the liberation. Mm-hmm. And we, at the same time of the year, we often play a festival in Canada, and it's called the Tulip Festival.
Oh.
And because you guys, to say thanks for our help during the war, I don't know if you know this, but you every year you give us millions and millions of tulips.
Yeah, we like to get rid of them. Yeah.
Well, we love them. They're beautiful, and they put them all around our capital city where we're from, Ottawa.
Wow.
And there's bands play, and it's just a big celebration. It's great.
I had no clue.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You should come. Well, no, you probably shouldn't. You wouldn't care. You see the tulip. You see way more than.
I honestly thought that we were sending those tulips only to the Pope. But apparently they're going to Canada as well.
Yeah. Maybe they stopped sending them to the Pope. We're probably getting
Pope.
his.
It's good that we Dutchies say thanks to Canada each year.
Yeah.
Really. And you're in Holland. You even celebrated the freedom yesterday at our Bevrijdingsdag festivals. And you played right after the Dutch version of Eminem. I read on your Facebook.
Yeah, we didn't know who he was. And we figured I mean, we figured, he's got a shorter set than us. Like, and we had never heard of him. And we're like, who can this guy be? And obviously, that's us being stupid.
He flies in on a helicopter.
He lands on a helicopter, and we're like, okay, well, maybe this guy's kind of a big deal. And he comes
Ze hebben
out.
het over Gers Pardoel, jongens.
And all of a sudden, there's 15,000 people at the main stage, and we're like, oh great, they're here for the concert, and people are going crazy. And then he finished his set, and then we were up, and then about 75% of those people left. But it was great. There were still thousands of people. It was wonderful.
Our Dutch Eminem is called Gers Pardoel.
Yeah, I like the stuff. Are his lyrics good?
Yeah, his lyrics are very good. And each Freedom Day, 3 of our bands or artists are flying around in the Netherlands,
right,
to celebrate the freedom and go from gig to gig to gig. That's why the guy was on a heli.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. He doesn't own a heli.
Right, he's not his own heli. We also met last night Kensington. We played a different festival also, and Kensington was there. And they were great. They were a wonderful band. I hope to see them again or maybe play with them sometime.
Okay, I'll pass on the message.
Let them know that we're coming for them.
Okay.
No, to hang out, to be buds.
We're coming for them. With your tulips. Here, you get it back.
Ja.
Als je zit te luisteren, sms gerust even aan 3333 wat je ervan vindt. Zeker met dit verhaal wat je er nu bij hebt gehoord. Hoe je dit nummer vindt. Het heet So It Goes en het is van de Canadese band Hollerado. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Hier is Hollerado live.